walking down the beach, sunlight bouncing off the waves, families all around, and then you see him, a man, shirtless, confident, his physique sharper than men half his age, abs carved, shoulders broad, skin smooth, almost wrinkle-free. You'd guess he's in his 30s, maybe early 40s at most, but here's the twist. He's 60, a grandfather of 7. His name is Andy Wilkinson, and for years, people have mistaken him for his daughter's boyfriend. Pause for a second, let that sink in. How often do you see a 60-year-old who looks like he stepped straight out of a Marvel casting call? Exactly, almost never. So what makes Andy different? What does he know? What does he do that the rest of us are missing? Because here's the truth. The story we've all been told about aging is broken. We've been conditioned to believe that after 40 your body declines, that past 50 your metabolism slows, that past 60 fitness is no longer an option, only survival. But Andy is living proof that this story isn't destiny, that decline is not inevitable, that maybe the way we've been taught to think about aging has been a lie all along. When Andy talks about his fitness, he doesn't brag. He doesn't claim to have discovered a secret hack or hidden formula. In fact, he laughs at the idea of shortcuts. You can't buy a strong body, he says. You can't hire one. You have to earn it, day by day. And those words, simple as they sound, hold the weight of truth. Because Andy isn't just another influencer shouting about supplements, fad diets, or miracle workouts. He's a man who rejects all of that. No steroids, no injections, no exhausting 7-day training schedules. Just 6 timeless principles that he's lived by for decades. Principles that keep him strong. Principles that keep him young. Principles that could change the way you think about your own future. Here's why Andy's story matters. It isn't just about looking good at 60. It's about proving what's possible. If a grandfather of 7 can stand on a beach and outshine men in their 30s, then what excuse do the rest of us have? Andy's life is more than inspiration. It's a challenge. A living, breathing reminder that aging isn't something that happens to you. It's something you choose every single day through your habits. And in this video, we're going to break it all down. The 6 principles Andy lives by, the lifestyle choices that fuel his transformation, and the mindset that turns 60 into a new beginning instead of the end. By the end, you'll see aging differently. You'll see yourself differently. And maybe, just maybe, you'll realize that your best years aren't behind you. They're still ahead. Think about the average 60-year-old, stiff in the morning, joints aching, back sore. Now picture Andy. At sunrise, he's already moving, stretching, walking, lifting, not punishing his body, but reminding it what it was made for. Andy believes one simple truth. If you stop moving, you start dying. And science backs him up. Studies show that even in your 60s and 70s, strength training can build muscle as effectively as in your 30s. Exercise doesn't just preserve life, it rewinds the clock. So here's the challenge to you. Are you moving daily, or are you slowly teaching your body how to stop? Most people at Andy's age see food as comfort, a distraction, a little escape. But Andy, he sees it as fuel. His meals are simple: lean protein, vegetables, healthy fats, nothing extreme, no expensive powders, no miracle supplements, just real food consistently. Here's the harsh truth. Abs aren't made in the gym. They're made in the kitchen. And Andy's six-pack? It isn't built on crunches. It's built on choices. Choices repeated over years until they became his lifestyle. Ask yourself, are you eating for the moment or for the future? We glorify the hustle, late nights, early mornings, burnout disguised as ambition. But Andy knows the truth. Growth doesn't happen when you're grinding. Growth happens when you rest. 7 to 8 hours, every night, no compromises. Because poor sleep doesn't just make you tired, it accelerates aging, it wrecks hormones, it fogs your mind. So when you see Andy looking sharp, energized, and decades younger, remember, it's not just about what he does in the gym, it's about what he does in bed. Motivation is a spark. It comes and goes. Andy doesn't rely on it. Motivation fades, he says. Discipline stays. Every morning, whether he feels like it or not, he trains. He eats right. He moves. That's the real secret. Not hacks, not quick fixes, not one heroic effort, but the discipline to do the simple things over and over. If you're waiting to feel motivated, you're already behind. Andy believes something most people ignore. The body follows the mind. If you think 60 means decline, your body will prove you right. right. If you believe 60 can be your prime, your body will rise to meet it. This isn't just positive thinking. Studies show people with positive beliefs about aging live, on average, 7 years longer than those with negative ones. Andy doesn't see age as a limit. He sees it as an opportunity, and his body reflects that belief. Here's the final brutal truth. Anyone can train hard for a week. Anyone can eat clean for a month, but almost no one stays consistent for years. Andy does. He isn't shredded because of one insane workout. He isn't youthful because of one perfect meal. His transformation is the result of thousands of ordinary choices, stacked day after day until they became extraordinary. Consistency beats intensity, always. So when you see Andy at 60, looking like a man in his 30s, remember, it's not luck, it's not magic, it's the quiet power of showing up every single day. Andy Wilkinson isn't just a grandfather with abs. He's a living contradiction to everything we've been told about age. Because when most men his age are slowing down, Andy is speeding up. When most are shrinking into comfort, he's expanding into possibility. And here's the uncomfortable part. His story doesn't just inspire us, it calls us out. If Andy can do this at 60, what excuse do we have? When Andy's story hit the press, the internet erupted. Headlines called him Britain's fittest granddad. Strangers doubted him, assuming steroids, surgeries, or Photoshop. But the truth was simpler and far more powerful. No shortcuts, no gimmicks, no miracle hacks. Just 6 principles, repeated with discipline. And that's why his story matters. Not because Andy is special, but because he isn't. He's ordinary, just like us, which means what he's achieved is within reach for all of us. So the real question isn't, how did Andy do it? It's, why haven't you? Why do we accept decline as inevitable? Why do we surrender to the story that aging equals weakness, fatigue, and decay? Andy proves it doesn't have to be that way, that the life we imagine slipping away with every birthday candle can actually be reclaimed. And when you see him, 60 years old, standing tall, abs sharp, energy alive, you're not just seeing him, you're seeing a version of yourself that could exist if you chose it. Here's the truth. Aging will happen, wrinkles will come, hair will gray, time will leave its marks. But decline? That's optional. You have more control than you've been led to believe. Your energy, your strength, your vitality, they're not dictated by your birth certificate. They're dictated by your choices. And if Andy Wilkinson, grandfather of 7, can be mistaken for his daughter's boyfriend at 60, then what's stopping you from rewriting your own story? So here's the question I'll leave you with. When you hit 60, will you be a shadow of what you once were? Or will you be living proof, like Andy, that life doesn't end when society says it should? It begins. Because the clock is ticking, and every choice you make today is shaping the 60-year-old you'll meet tomorrow. And maybe that person could be stronger, sharper, and more alive than you ever imagined.